بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له واشهد ان لا اله الا الله وحده لا شريك له واشهد ان محمدا عبده ورسوله يا ايها الذين امنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن الا وانتم مسلمون يا ايها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحده وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما ما بعد فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وأحسن الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. Okay, Alhamdulillah, today will be the last session for the chapter of khiyar, the option given to the two contracting parties whenever they deal with each other in a transaction. The Prophet ﷺ informed us that both contracting parties are upon khiyar, they can decline before the separation. So we have discussed this issue and the issue of khiyar al-majlis last week. So today, inshallah, we will talk about the conclusion. It's a two hadith that we move to Babu al-Riba, which is one of the most important chapters when it comes to buyu. This hadith that we will be studying today is going to be talking about cooperation and solidarity, which is one of the manners of Islam to be observed even when dealing with each other in a transaction. I shouldn't do something which will harm or prevent my partner from practicing his right that Sharia gave him. Amr ibn Shu'aib from his father and Jaddihi and the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and Amr ibn Shu'aib and Abi and Jaddihi أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال البائع والمبتاع بالخيار حتى يتفرقا إلا أن تكون صفقة خيار ولا يحل له أن يفارقه خشية أن يستقيله. The Prophet ﷺ said in this hadith, al-ba'i', which is the seller, wal-mubta'a, and the buyer, bil-khiyari, they are upon khiyar, just like the hadith of Abdullah ibn Umar. And they are upon the khiyar meaning they have option, they have a choice to continue with the transaction or to decline. حتى يتفرقا, until they get separated. When there is a separation, then the khiyar is gone. But before the separation, as long as they are still in the majlis al-aqd, they can still continue or decline. قال حتى يتفرقا إلا أن تكون صفقة خيار, unless if the deal between them is based on khiyar. Get it? I will sell you, but I have a choice. And I have a condition. You have to go with my condition or else I don't want. So you finalize the deal based on a condition that you are the one who brought it. You get it out? This is Safqat khiyar, a transaction that is based on khiyar, meaning one of them has an option, set of a condition that the other party has to abide by. So the Prophet ﷺ said, each and every one of them has this natural option, natural choice given to him whether to continue or to decline, unless if there is khiyar between them. Okay, I will sell you, but once we sign the papers, there will be no cancellation. You agree? Yes, that's khiyar. You get them, we go according to the khiyar, al-muslimuna ala shurutihim or inda shurutihim, kama qala al-Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. قال ولا يحل له أن يفارقه خشية أن يستقيله. The Prophet ﷺ said it is impermissible for the seller or the buyer, one of them, to stay away or to leave the other one out of the fear that the other one might regret and come back and cancel the transaction. You know, the Prophet ﷺ said حتى يتفرقا, right, until they get separated. So then when I buy from you, I quickly leave the place and then come back. And why am I doing that? So that he will not tell me I changed my mind. Because if you get separated, you cannot change your mind. If you change your mind, then I have to agree first. But before the separation, you don't need my consent. You don't need my agreement. Automatically, if I cancel it, it is cancelled. I just have to take back my money. قال رواه الخمسة إلا ابن ماجه ورواه الدارقطني وابن خزيمة وابن الجارود وفي رواية حتى يتفرقا من مكانهما. In another narration, the Prophet ﷺ said, until they leave their position. Each and every one of them has a khiyar until they leave their position. وبحديث أبي داود أن ابن عمرو بلفظ البيعان بالخيار ما لم يتفرقا إلا أن تكون صفقة خيار ولا يحل له أن يفارق صاحبه خشية أن يستقيله. The same meaning also is found in the narration of Imam Abu Dawood with a little bit of difference. But that first one that I just mentioned, which says حتى يتفرقا من مكانهما, that should close also the discussion that we had last week, right? Where some scholars are saying that التفرق here is based on تفرق القولي, means if we change the discussion, then خلاص. But the Prophet ﷺ here in another narration says what? حتى يتفرقا من مكانهما. From this you will understand the importance of the statement of Ali ibn al-Madini when he says الباب إذا لم تجمع طرقه لم يتبين خطأه. If you want to understand an issue, you really have to combine all the hadiths that talk about this issue, all of the nusus of Sharia. You want to understand it properly, to detect the errors, you get it, then you have to bring everything that is said about that topic, put them in one place first, look at them all together at once, then you will come up with a very strong and a concrete stance. So when the Prophet ﷺ said this, that should be the end of the discussion. But ulama are not infallible. Sometimes they see the hadith, sometimes also they don't get it, and sometimes they got it, but it is not authentic the way they got it. Or sometimes it is even authentic, but they misunderstood, and that's possible. Right? That's possible. They are all human beings. If the companions of the Prophet ﷺ sometimes also have this misunderstanding, what do you think of somebody who came after them? So for a student of knowledge, this statement of Ali ibn al-Madini is very important. Very important. Don't just see a hadith and then make a conclusion and go fight the controversy and talk and shout. And no. You have to see everything first. Then you will be able to get the correct thing. Look at this hadith, put them all together, then you will come up with. قالوا فقوله أن يستقيله دال على نفوذ البيع. So you have some of the scholars who don't agree with the khiyar al-majlis. Don't forget that. And don't agree also with this natural iqala, that one of them has a choice, an option whether to say yes or to say no. Some scholars don't agree, because they said the Prophet ﷺ said in the hadith, he says, البيعان فقوله أن يستقله دال على نفوذ البيع. When the Prophet ﷺ said out of the fear, he leaves the place out of the fear that his brother might apply for cancellation. They say when cancellation exists, that means the thing is already there. If the bay' is not already finalized, the transaction is not finalized, what are we cancelling then? You cancel what? You cancel something that already exists. If it doesn't exist, we don't call it bay', we call it a proposal. Get it? You're proposing a deal. But when the Prophet ﷺ talks about iqala, that means that the transaction is already finalized and done. وقد وجب عنه بأن الحديث دليل على خيار المجلس أيضا لقوله ما لم يتفرقا. وأما قوله أن يستقيله فالمراد به الفسخ لأنه لو أراد به الإقالة حقيقة لم يكن للمفارقة معنى فتعين حمله على الفسخ. So some scholars said, no, the Prophet ﷺ is not asking about iqala, he's asking about al-fasq. Because if I don't get separated, and then the Prophet ﷺ said, I do have a right to cancel. Cancellation is what? Fasq. You're just dissolving and cancelling the transaction completely. Iqala is when you realize an error from your side, you get it, or you cannot just continue based on a reason which you know. You come to the person, that's after the separation, and the contract is binding upon both sides, and then you ask the man to just forgive and give you back the money and take back the commodity and the goods. That's iqala. To get an idea, both can be used. We can use it also in the first position. But when you have this criticism from the opponent, then you have to look for another definition which will block the means for somebody to criticize. To get an idea. So the hadith suggests this. So we have to keep it in the way it is. This is what Lamir Sanani is trying to tell you. قال فتعين حمله على الفسق وعلى ذلك حمله الترمذي وغيره من العلماء قالوا معناه لا يحل له أن يفارقه بعد البيع خشية أن يختار فسخ البيع. And this is also very clear. The Prophet ﷺ says he is not allowed to leave him after the transaction out of the fear that the man will cancel the transaction. فالمراد بالإقالة أو بالاستقالة هنا فسخ النادب وحمل نفي الحل على الكراهة لأنه لا يليق بالمروءة وحسن معاشرة المسلم لا أن اختيار الفسخ حرام. You get it? So they understand the nafi from the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, negation of permissibility from the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. They understood it to be karaha. We mentioned a lot that when that means qarina, circumstantial evidence that takes away the original interpretation to something else. And that's why you have been seeing for so long the battle between Amir Sanani and some of the fuqaha. When the text says this, and then some people will come and say this. To get an idea. They might have the evidence, but he doesn't see any evidence, and they don't mention in their books what is the sari for that. And we have a lot of examples concerning this matter, whereby you will be trying to find the sari for an issue, but you will not see anything that takes it from the original interpretation. You get it? So this is what he is saying. So sometimes the scholars will go for that. So in this, the scholars are saying, we understand the negation of the permissibility from the Prophet ﷺ to be understood as a dislike. لأنه لا يليق بالمروءة, based on the principles that says it is inappropriate. You get it? It is inappropriate. Something which is shameful act for a Muslim, and also a brotherhood that is constructed by Islam, which is supposed to be manifested among the Muslims. It is not, appropriate for a Muslim to choose to dissolve a transaction just like that for no reason. Do you get the idea? It's inappropriate for him to go for that if he doesn't have any justification for that. But it is not haram for him to do that. You can ask for the cancellation, but they say it's inappropriate if you don't have any excuse. You get it? You waste his time. You just come to the shop, just ask him, and then after you finalize the deal, you tell him, okay, قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم البيع بالخيار. Yeah, why? He said, no, just like that. To practice the sunnah of the Prophet. So it is inappropriate because you're harming him, actually. You wasted his time, and also the time you cancel, he might not find somebody to get this. وَأَمَّا مَا رُوِيَ عَنِ ابْنِ عُمَرَ. Okay, this is very important. وَأَمَّا مَا رُوِيَ عَنِ ابْنِ عُمَرَ أَنَّهُ كَانَ إِذَا بَايَعَ رَجُلًا فَأَرَادَ أَنْ يَتِمَّ بَيْعَهُ قَامَ يَمْشِي هُنَيْهَةً فَرَجَعَ إِلَيْهِ فإنه محمول على أن ابن عمر لم يبلغه النهي. They said it is narrated that Abdullah ibn Umar, whenever he transacts with a person, then he will stand up and go a few steps and then come back again. That was his sunnah. And Abdullah ibn Umar's practice. So Al-Amir al-San'ani says, فإنه محمول على أن النهي لم يبلغه. So we have no way except to understand that Abdullah ibn Umar did not see this hadith. The one that says, لا يحل له أن يفارقه خشية أن يستقيله. Do you get it? لا يحل له أن يفارقه خشية أن يستقيله. وقال ابن حزم حمل حديث ابن عمرو هذا على التفرق بالأقوال تذهب معه فائدة الحديث. And some scholars said التفرق بالأقوال, right? So Amir al-San'ani doesn't want to leave them. And so he brought the issue also again through the what he calls statement of Ibn Hazm. What he says, whoever understands that hadith that says ما لم يتفرق على التفرق بالأقوال, the Prophet ﷺ is talking about conversation. When they change the topic, then that means the transaction is binding. He says تذهب حمل تذهب معه فائدة الحديث. He says if somebody understands that, actually the benefit of this hadith will be gone. That's cooperation, right? That's help and solidarity so that a person can fix his mistake before he leaves. Yeah, but if you say tafarruq bil aqwal, khalas. Even salah, after you finish, especially in those days, we all know that their transaction is not like ours. They sell, they buy, they shake hands after they finish. They don't change their faces. Nowadays, he is angry, you are sad, you are both are sad. If you go out, you have all types of what you call assumption that you are cheated. How do you shake his hand? Of course, no. That's why when you go out, you check this shop, and then Allah will test you also sometimes. You find one shop very cheap, you see. So honesty is really good in business, but unfortunately nowadays everyone is in the marketplace. قال لأنه يلزم معه حل التفرق سواء خشي أن يستقيله أو لا يستقيله. So this statement of the Prophet ﷺ will be of no use. If we say تفرق بالأقوال, then خلاص, because you can't stop him from talking. What does that mean? If he finish the transaction, then he has to keep quiet. Why? Because the Prophet ﷺ said لا يحل له أن يفارقه خشية أن يستقيله. He cannot talk anyway. His wife called him, no reply. Why? لا يجوز له أن يفارقه خشية أن يستقيله لأنه إذا تكلم بكلام آخر فقد فارقه. When he talks, using a word which is out of the topic, then he's considered as somebody who is separated from his partner. And as such, the other partner have no right to cancel the transaction. But as we all mentioned, that the hadith is way against this understanding, especially when you put into consideration the saying of the Prophet ﷺ, in makanihima. He uses the word makan. What does that mean? It means the Prophet ﷺ is talking about at-tafarruq bil abdan, separation of the body physically. He leaves you, you leave the man. The next hadith, which is the last hadith under this chapter, is the hadith of al-ghubn, which we talk about cheating. Islam is the most beautiful religion. There will be no religion like the religion of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Cheating or deception is not accepted in Islam. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam rejected. We talk about that earlier in many places. Man ghashana falaysa minna, man ghasha falaysa minna. Get it? And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he really rejects all sorts of cheatings or deception in transaction. So transparency have to be there, and leniency also have to be there. We're going to see some beautiful mention of the Prophet ﷺ concerning this matter, inshallah, in the near future. قال عن عبد الله بن عمر رضي الله عنه قال ذكر رجل لرسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم أنه يخدع في البيوع فقال إذا بايعت فقل لا خلابة صلوات الله وسلامه عليه رحمة للجميع ما أرسلناك إلا رحمة للعالمين. This man came to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and complained to him. He said, Ya Rasulullah, usually if I buy, people cheat. Always when I buy, I will be cheated. So he realized that. So people use the way he thinks or his simplicity or I don't know how to say leniency. We're going to see some of the mention of the scholars in the future, inshallah, about who he was. So they use that, which is also against Islam. Islam is all about aman. You understand that this person might not know, then you have to go with the reasonable thing. But nowadays it's not like that. If you know, you don't know, that means you're killed. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us. قال له يا رسول الله. He said, Ya Rasulullah, whenever I transact, I buy, I usually be cheated by the sellers. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, what you should do, you should either buy it whenever you buy something, you sell something, or you engage in a transaction, فَقُلْ لَا خِلَابَ. You should say, no cheating. From the beginning. So that's what the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam advised him. قَالَ إِذَا بَايَعْتَ فَقُلْ لَا خِلَابَ. When you buy or you sell, you should tell the other party, no cheating. قال الأمير الصنعاني زاد بن إسحاق في رواية يونس ابن بكير عن عبد العالى أنه قال ثم أنت بالخيار. This is a very important addition from the Prophet ﷺ in another narration, because he told him, when you buy, you tell them no cheating. So what is the implication? Especially in our time, when you tell him no cheating. يعني بعضهم لو أقسموا بالله. If he put Quran, I'm telling you, on his head, he will cheat also. Allah guide. So what? If he says La khilaba, what will be the implication? The Prophet ﷺ in another narration, that's why I said it's very important for you to get all the hadith, put them together. The second narration says what? ثُمَّ أَنْتَ بِالْخِيَارِ فِي كُلِّ سِلْعَةٍ ابْتَعْتَهَا ثَلَاثَ لَيَالٍ. The Prophet ﷺ said, and then you have a choice. You have an option, right, to decide in 3 days. Okay, you tell them no cheating, go home. Check and see, and also check the price also. How is it? If you get cheated, within 3 days, you have a right to take it. And look at the Samahatu Sharia. The Prophet ﷺ did not say you have a khiyar forever. You go and use it and then come and open a case and tell him, yeah, I realize that, but I do not have time to come and inform you. He tell him, قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. So he said, ثم أنت بالخيار في كل سلعة ابتعتها 3 ليال فإن رضيت فأمسك وإن سخطت فاردد. He says, you have 3 days to decide. If you agree, keep it. If you don't agree, take it back. Listen to this. فبقي ذلك الرجل حتى أدرك زمان عثمان وهو ابن 130 سنة. قدر 130 سنة. He lived until the time of Uthman. At that time he was 100 at the age of 130 years. So old, right? Muammar Pakistani. So he lived a very long life for this age. فَكَثُرَ النَّاسُ فِي زَمَانِ عُثْمَانِ. Of course, Islam became very big, a growth. فَكَانَ إِذَا اشْتَرَى شَيْئًا. So the man, whenever he buys something, فَقِيلَ لَهُ أَنْتَ قُبِنْتَ فِيهِ رَجَعَ. Whenever he buys something, and then somebody tells him, Wallahi, definitely you're cheated, he will go back immediately to the guy. فيشهد له رجل من الصحابة أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قد جعل له الخيار 3 أيام. He has a mashallah, very nice certificate. So whenever he buys and somebody he asks, what do you think? Wallahi, they cheated you. He will go back immediately. When they talk to him, he will say, قال لي رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. One of the beauty of living with the Prophet is like that. قال لي رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إذا بايعت فقل لا خلاف ثم أنت بالخيار 3 أيام. So whenever he buys, if the guys start arguing, he will call one of the companions of the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم. Can you witness that the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم told me this? And then he would tell him, yes. قد جعله النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم الخيار 3 أيام فترد له دراهمه. Inshallah, look at the respect. Whenever the companion tells the seller, yeah, the Prophet ﷺ told him that he has, this right, they will immediately take back his money to him. If you did not hear the hadith, then you will cheat. So those people would know hadith, then you get them. قال والحديث دليل على خيار القبن في البيع والشراء إذا حصل الغبن. He says this hadith is a clear evidence that whoever is cheated has a right to cancel the transaction. He's given this option and the choice by the Sharia to accept or to reject. واختلف فيه العلماء على قولين. الأول ثبوت الخيار بالقبن أو القبن. Some scholars said yes, we do accept it because the Prophet ﷺ accepted in this hadith of this man. Do you get it? They say we accept it because the hadith says that. وَالْعِبْرَةُ بِعُمُومِ اللَّفْظِ لَا بِخُصُوصِ السَّبَبِ. And usually it is a very, very important maxim mentioned by the scholars that we don't restrict a legal ruling to the event in which the ruling was revealed for it. A case happened during the time of the Prophet ﷺ, and then Allah revealed the wahy. Can we restrict the thing to the case alone? Or it is a general ruling given to the ummah that if such a case happened, you have some scholars said no, sabab al-nuzul says this. That means we have to restrict ourselves to that. Scholars said no. سبب النزول هي أول قضية القضية التي بسببها نزل الحكم. يعني the issue and the event in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed the legal ruling for it, it will be the first thing to get included in the general ruling, in that ruling. Then the likeness. When you study, you have a lot of funny things sometimes. There is an approach which takes out this one first. Do you get that? Muhammad daraba Uthman, la qaddar Allah. Then hukum nazal. Which is the first issue to be included in that hukum? This case. Do you get what I mean? You have somebody who will tell you, no, the first issue that will go out of this hukum is this case. Do you get the idea? So that's why I said if you study, you have all of these issues that will inshallah give you some relief. Yeah, when you get annoyed. يقال أحد الشناقطة كان in the masjid of the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم مشاقطة واحد من الناس يتخطى ارتكاب يوم الجمعة. You know, Sharia says when you come to the masjid on Friday you shouldn't cross people like that. Just look for a place and sit. So the guy was working. Somebody told him, قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم لا تتخطوا الرقاب. You know what the man says? إلا يوم الجمعة. He says, except on Friday. The hadith was said on Friday actually, and then the guy says, no, إلا يوم الجمعة. صلى الله أن يفقهنا في الدين. قال وهذا قول مالك وأحمد بن حنبل رحمهم الله. ولكن إذا كان الغبن فاحشا لمن لا يعرف ثمن السلعة. So this Malik and Imam Ahmad, they said this is given to the one who is cheated. This right is given to him with a condition. The condition is the cheating has to be, so apparent, so big, not just small one that usually take place in the market. So you get it? That is the minor type of cheating which takes place in the market, which you cannot avoid it. Otherwise, we will never buy. You will never buy, you will never sell. Seriously, if you talk about their time, maybe little, but our time, you don't trust him, he doesn't trust you. Nobody trusts another person. That's why there will be no shaking of the hand after you go. Go. Sallallahu alayhi wa قال إذا كان فاحشا لمن لا يعرف ثمن السلعة. For the one قالوا for the one who does not know the price. Get it? وقيده بعض المالكية بأن يبلغ الغبن ثلث القيمة. Some of the Maliki scholars, they said that the amount of the cheating has to reach a third of the real price. That means you increase 1/3 of the price on top of the real one. We will see inshallah the correct approach in the future. قال ولعلهم أخذوا التقييد مما علم من أنه لا يكاد يسلم أحد من مطلق الغبن في غالب الأحوال. This is what I said. So it looks like they're just looking up about the natural, about the norms of the market, that it is not easy for a person to stay away from this. When you go to the market to buy, you're going to engage in this. You might be cheated at least a bit. ولأن التقليد يتسامح به في العادة وأنه من رضي بالغبن بعد معرفته فإن ذلك لا يسمى غبنا. So maybe they're taking it due to the fact that if you agree with that, you already finalized and you know that the price is higher, and you just ignore. They said we don't call it cheating at all. If you accept it, then we don't call it cheating. وإنما يكون ذلك من باب التساهل. So it will be just part of the leniency, which might be included in the praise of the Prophet ﷺ when he praised the one who does it. وأخبر أن الله سبحانه وتعالى يحب الرجل سهل البيع وسهل الشراء. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves the man who is very lenient when he buys, very lenient when he sells. Islam comes with these principles, but unfortunately we don't know them nowadays. We don't know them nowadays. You remember At-Tadhkirah? We study here. I know you forgot, but just pretend you remember. In the At-Tadhkirah, why is it impermissible? Because it harms the community, right? The caravans, when they bring the Bedouins, when they bring their goods, how are they going to sell it? They're not greedy. Usually the Al-Badu, they're not greedy. He just want to get rid of his thing. Unless can regain back the capital and get some profit. What he can feed his family with. Very simple life. But when it comes to the city, mashallah, that's where greediness and all of these things will come to exist. So Islam says, don't do what? Don't stop the caravan from reaching the market. You have to let them come inside. Why? Because the community will get benefit. But they are very lenient. They don't bargain that much. You find it in the city, where greed is too much. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us good. قال وذهب الجماهير من العلماء إلى عدم ثبوت الخيار بالغبن لعموم أدلة البيع ونفوذه من غير تفرقة بين الغبن أو لا. He says the vast majority of the scholars are against this type of option. You get it? They don't agree with khiyar al-qub. That's majority. And they have their own excuses. One of their excuses, they said, وَحَدِيثُ الْبَابِ إِنَّمَا كَانَ الْخِيَارُ فِيهِ لِضَعْفِ عَقْلِ الرَّجُلِ. They said this hadith that we talk about, the Prophet ﷺ gave him that right because he has a problem. This is an exception. Because he says, Ya Rasulullah, whenever I buy, I get cheated. We don't do that. If you buy and he cheated, tomorrow you go back to the... Never. You even tell people, don't. This guy is a cheater. Don't go. Because the man has problem. You get it in terms of recognition to differentiate between good and bad. You get it? إلا أنه ضعف لم يخرج به عن حد التميز. He said that he is having this deficiency in the mental capacity, but it doesn't take him out of his sanity. Otherwise, he will be considered as somebody who lost his sanity. And as such, the transaction will be illegal from the beginning, actually, for me to deal with him. But he doesn't go like that. He just has some problem that he couldn't differentiate between this and that. فتصرفه كتصرف الصبي المأذون له يثبت له الخيار مع الكبر. This man becomes like what? Like just a young boy who is below the age of maturity. You get it? That we will accept his transaction, but if there is a cheating in that transaction, then we give the child khiyar an option to cancel the transaction if you wish. قلت, that's Amir Sanani say, not Ibrahim. قال ويدل لضعف عقله ما أخرجه أحمد وأصحاب السنن من حديث أنس بلفظ إن رجلا كان يبايع وكان في عقله ضعف. But he has a deficiency in his aql. So this narration supported what? The opinion of the majority of the scholars. ولأنه لقنه فيكون من باب خيار الشرط. And there's a very good approach here. They said because when the Prophet ﷺ told him what to say, that means this is shart. You remember in the first hadith the Prophet ﷺ said, إِلَّا أَن تَكُونَ صَفْقَةَ خِيَارٍ, unless if one of them set up a condition and say, okay, I have this condition, right? When the Prophet ﷺ told the man, whenever you transact, you buy, you should tell them no cheating. What does that mean? That's my condition. I accept it, but no cheating. What does that mean? He is upon his own shart, right? So now, if we take this approach by some scholars, we're not talking about khiyar al-gubn. We're talking about what? Khiyar al-shart, the one that is established by the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. قال ابن العربي إن الخديعة في هذه القصة يحتمل أن تكون في العيب أو في الملك أو في الثمن أو في العين فلا يحتج بها في الغبن بخصوصه وهي قصة خاصة لا عموم فيها. So he also Ibn al-Arabi, don't read it without alif wal lam. Ibn al-Arabi, not Ibn Arabi. So Ibn al-Arabi is a Maliki, very great scholar amongst the Maliki scholars. He was saying that there is an assumption, although this assumption is rejected also by Al-Amir al-Sanani based on the clarity that comes from another narration, but he says that is an assumption that the Prophet ﷺ was suggesting that approach because was giving him the right because he's cheated in a specific features of the transaction, either cheated in the ownership or cheated in the in the price or cheated in the item itself. So he says if this ihtimal falls in a text, you get it, then بطل الاحتجاج به. And when you have إذا طرق الاحتمال على الدليل بطل الاحتجاج به. When you have a dalil that you want to use it as an evidence for a specific issue, but this dalil has a lot of assumptions, maybe it could be this, could be that, then it cannot stand on its feet. Right? We need something straightforward. So Ibn Arabi was saying here, it looks like this is an exceptional, legal ruling given to this person specifically, which is not including everyone. So, wallahu alam, to conclude the topic, if you look at it properly, and combine all of the hadiths, will come up with the statement of the vast majority of the scholars that a person has a choice when he already informed the person. If you say like that, there's a shart that the Prophet ﷺ is talking about. And also, who is there to measure the government? What should be the percentage of the government? If we say, okay, shouldn't be, governor is always there. You get it? Who is there to measure that? So that's why some scholars said you should be aware of the market when you go. Don't just go and buy. You get it? Don't just go and buy. Otherwise, if you just go like that without knowing the price, then we will tell you, دَعُ النَّاسَ يَرْزُقُ اللَّهُ بَعْضَهُ مِنْ بَعْضٍ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us to the truth. Okay, few minutes left. Let's just introduce the next chapter, inshallah. So we are done with the chapter of khiyar. Now we will begin the chapter of riba, which will take long. Get it before the above salam and another type of transaction, inshallah. قال الباب الثالث باب الربا. The third chapter in this Kitab al-Buyu' will be talking about riba. So riba is not, it's known to everyone. So no definition is given. But as a reminder, we already know that there are two types of riba, which exist in two positions, right? Either in transaction or in loan. We'll be talking about both, inshallah. Riba in loans exist when you increase the amount. Whether because of a delay or because of whatever, you increase the amount, that's riba in loan. And this is where all the Bulugh are about. Whether they call it Islam or non-Islam, if you look at transaction from inside, this is what it's all about. Loan with interest. Get it? So we call it a lot of names. The conventional banks, they call it interest. Our banks, we call it hiba, hadiya. Do you get the idea? So, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us to the truth. In some places you go to the bank, they have this hadith. لعن الله أكل الربا ولا إله. نسأل الله السلامة والعافية. So that's the riba in loan. There should be no increase at all whatsoever, which is agreed upon between the two parties. And there should be no increase, which is demanded by the creditor. And there should be no increase which comes from the debtor based on the what? Understanding or clear indication that he got from the creditor, that the creditor is looking for an increase. He cannot add. But he can come willingly, just like that. I borrow 1 ringgit from Uthman, for example. I go, Tajar to, okay, let's use my cool example. I borrow 100,000 ringgit to do business. Get it? After a few years, mashallah, I become Ibrahim Gates. I don't say like that. I'm talking about Muhammad. He says millionaire. That's you, Muhammad. So I become another Gate. I mean, so rich. Then I come to Uthman. I said, Uthman, this is 2 billion dinar Kuwaiti for you. He says, why is that? Well, I just take. Washkurullah. Which munasabah, I tell him, yeah, you help me in my business and my business succeeds, so I just want to return the jami. The Prophet ﷺ said, Ahasinukum qada'an. The best among you, the one who pays better. He also used to do that, increase the amount. But as I said, the condition is there shouldn't be any sign from the creditor that he wants you to add. If we understand that, then no bank of Islam will come and tell you, yeah, Because everyone knows that the bank is going to give hiba. And they don't give everyone. They give the hiba to do what? To attract others. It becomes competition now. So just like what is done by the conventional bank. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala yusaffi uqulana wa qulubana wa malana. So we have to be very careful. You go for darura to keep your money in the bank and just take your money, that's it. Don't engage in any business with them. Unless if it is very clear that there is no shubha to riba in it. Forget about this special advisors and all of these things, keep them aside. Keep your money, take your money, that's it. And monitor your account. You cannot say, I don't know how much comes, how much goes out. No, because initially you're not supposed to go. الضرورة تقدر بقدرها. That's the first type of riba. The second type is a riba in buyu, in transaction. The second position where riba exists is in transactions. This is what we will be dealing with, inshallah.